Steve Bannon left the White House the same way he came in, on a wave of controversy. Aides to President Donald Trump said he fired his chief White House strategist, but Bannon claimed he resigned earlier this week, just as the president faced a backlash over his response to rioting at a white nationalist rally in Virginia. At a Tuesday press conference, the writing appeared to be on the wall.
He's a good person. He actually gets a very unfair press in that regard. But we'll see what happens with Mr. Bannon.
The 63-year-old was considered an odd choice by many as candidate Trump's campaign manager and later President Trump's chief strategist. The former investment banker and founder of alt-right Breitbart News had no political experience and was a Washington outsider. Bannon was considered abrasive, even aggressive, but he said those qualities could help him shake up the status quo in the nation's capital, although often the results were mixed.
No hate, no fear, refugees are welcome here.
Bannon was a chief architect of President Trump's executive order that tried to restrict travel and immigration by people from a half dozen, mostly Muslim countries. But the order was blocked twice by federal courts. Then there were media reports that he manipulated President Trump. He also had a contentious relationship with some advisors, including President Trump's daughter Ivanka and son-in-law Jared Kushner. Bannon's days appeared marked when John Kelly replaced Reince Priebus as chief of staff in an effort to bring order to the Oval Office. Bannon's critics say an interview he gave earlier this week in which he criticized the president's policies towards China helped seal the deal. Despite his controversial tenure, political scientist Barry Burton thinks Bannon did influence the way the White House works.
He did make some changes in agencies in Washington, in staffing, in changing attitudes about how those agencies work. The White House has been trying to really stop a lot of the bureaucracy in Washington from moving ahead as it normally does, and I think he's had some success there.
And Burton expects Bannon will continue to leave his mark as a critic of both Washington and the White House. Diane, Eastabrook, Al Jazeera, Washington.